Final boss fights are usually the best that a video game has to offer. Last year, Peanut3423 made a list of his favorite final bosses, so here's my opinion of the 15 greatest final bosses in gaming. Keep this in mind. These are only bosses I faced, so that means no GLaDOS, Kefka, or Malice the 16th Colossus. They also have to be the actual final bosses of the game, so no guesses. Also, there is a massive amount of spoilers on this list. You have been warned. Okay, I've said enough. Let's get on with the list. Bellenbeck from Phantom Hourglass is grand. Sorry for the lack of footage, but I couldn't find any downloadable footage that wasn't too big or with good quality. During this final boss, Linebeck gets possessed by Bellum and you have to constantly attack him. Then when the icon appears, rub your stylus on it, then Ciela will make a sphere appear. Grab it when the eye on Bellenbeck's back opens, then slice his back with your sword. Wow, that is a great boss. 02 is a final boss of utter completeness. Who would have expected a boss like this to be in a Kirby game? Well, the requirements to facing it hide this boss from kids. To beat this boss, shoot crystals into 02's eye, then its halo, then the green thing at the bottom. The scenery is epic, and the music deserves all the attention it gets. Super Metroid is a great game. However, I don't like Mother Brain as much as you guys do. I mean, seriously, this thing is ugly. But that doesn't stop me from thinking this is a great battle. The first phases of the battle are not as fun, but then Mother Brain fires a Hyper Beam at you, and all hope is lost. The Metroid you adopted attacks Mother Brain and heals you, but not before it is killed by Mother Brain. Then you get the Hyper Beam, which is the best weapon in the game. You can use it to destroy Mother Brain for good. Donkey Kong Country 2 may have a terrible final boss, but in Donkey Kong 64, it's much better. This boss is 5 phases of epic win. Here you have Donkey Kong shoot at King K. Rool from a barrel when he appeals to the crowd. In this round, you play as Diddy Kong. And you use the Rocket Barrel Peanut Pop Gun combination to shoot the lights to make them fall down on King K. Rool's head. This phase, you have Lanky Kong hit a switch, pick up a barrel, throw it onto the ground, and then use the trombone to make King K. Rool come towards it. Make sure that King K. Rool is going to run over it, so he trips up. Avoid the body slams while playing as Tiny Kong, then after that, use a barrel to shrink, and then enter the hole in King K. Rool's shoe, and shoot feathers at his toes, though it is pretty gross. Here, use Chunky Kong to hit a switch, then use a pad, and then jump into a barrel to turn huge, and then punch King K. Rool in the face. Hit King K. Rool 4 times in each round, and you win. The Shadow Queen from Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door is very hard, but filled with utter completeness. This boss has 3 forms. The first one is normal, but the second phase she makes herself invulnerable with soul-piercing music. Then she drags the whole audience into darkness to restore all her HP. After that, a cutscene occurs. And everyone in the entire world is cheering you on. And the best song in the Mario franchise plays in the background. The final form has you fighting Shadow Queen. She will switch the hands she uses, her big hands or the small hands that grab you and drag you into darkness. This boss plays great, though if you didn't have to watch that cutscene every time you wanted to face the Shadow Queen, this boss would have been much higher. Calculate a Soul from Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. The boss is intimidating, as well as the scenery, and the music is epic. To beat this boss, hit the hands, then the head, and then attack the heart when it's exposed. This boss also has a lot of stylish attacks. I used to think this was the hardest boss ever. Not anymore, but it's very fun. That's right. Red from Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver is an epic battle. Pokemon Gold and Silver put it best. Here you'll fight him on top of a giant mountain in a hailstorm. Red's wide variety of Pokemon make this an epic experience, and his Pokemon are the highest level out of any Pokemon you'll ever find in a Pokemon game. You gotta admit, that is epic. And if you think that's awesome, then wait until you see Blue from Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow is one unlikable trainer. He's appearing out of nowhere and making you fight him when your Pokemon are in bad condition. He insults you for no reason. You always choose the Pokemon with the type advantage, and when you finally defeat the Elite Four, you have to defeat Blue as well. And yes, you can name him whatever you want. So when you finally come here, you will be amazed by Blue's wide variety of Pokemon and the epic boss music. But want to know the best part of this battle? You are about to give that annoying jerk exactly what he deserves. And you get to shut him up for good. Fatty from Legend of Zelda Minish Cap is 3 forms of utter completeness. The first form is epic, but not as great as the others. But then, Fatty transforms into an eyeball with 8 smaller eyeballs around it, and the fight is pretty fair. You have to attack the 4 eyeballs out at a time. Then, when you think you've won, you see Princess Zelda and try to escape. But then this happens. Oh my gosh, that is a final boss. To beat this boss, use a flip switch to flip his arms, then go into this thing to shrink down to size, then go into his arm and defeat the enemies inside it. After you defeat both arms, you split yourself into 4 and then reflect the electric balls back at him. Beat this enough times, and you finally defeat him. Just because the final boss is easy doesn't make it a bad final boss. Bowser from Mario Galaxy is a great example of this. All 3 of his forms can be killed quickly, but they're downright enjoyable at the same time. In each phase, you attack him, then when he comes around, spin him and repeat the process. The first phase, he turns into a boulder and rolls around, and you have to hit his head. Second phase has you hitting him with these tree things. Third phase is the same as the normal Bowser fights in the game, where you have to wait until he ground pounds one of those things and burns his tail, then spin at his tail. Eventually Bowser will fall into the lava, and even though the boss is easy, it's very fun. Ocarina of Time is an epic game. It has an amazing storyline and beautiful graphics, as well as awesome soundtrack. And what better way to end a great game with a great final boss? This is a great finale to a great game. Thunderstorm is on, the arena is surrounded by fire, and the Master Sword finisher is just awesome. One thing that could make this fight better is if Nintendo kept the idea to climb a much larger Ganon. And no, I didn't find this out. Peanut3423 told me that Nintendo was originally going to go with this because you can't see much of Ganon. Well, why can't we just see a cutscene showing a much larger Ganon? Ganon was already awesome enough in Ocarina of Time. In Twilight Princess, Ganon has 4 awesome forms. The first form, he possesses Zelda, making the fight emotional. Then he transforms into Beast Ganon. In this one particular battle, Ganon charges around the room using dark portals. For the second part of the battle, you need to turn into Wolf Link in a Beast vs. Beast match. Then the third phase is even better, for you need to chase Ganon on horseback, lock onto him so Zelda can shoot light arrows at him, and attack him with your sword. Then the big finale, Link versus Ganon in a sword fight. The music that plays is one of the best musics in the game. The atmosphere is awesome. Giant Baby Bowser from Yoshi's Island may be a scary boss, but he's also really fun to face. In this battle, Giant Baby Bowser is in the background and you shoot eggs into the background instead of across the screen. You gotta admit, that is awesome. Heck yes! The fight with World of Chaos from Kingdom Hearts is just grand. The atmosphere is awesome and the boss is huge. For most of the forms of this battle, you fly, and in some phases, go inside the boss's core to slay Heartless and destroy parts of the boss. And the music is filled with epicness. Alright, let's recap the list before we get to the number 1 greatest final boss ever. Number 15, Bellabag. Number 14, Zero Two. Number 13, Motherboard. Number 12, King K. Rool. Number 11, The Shadow Queen. Number 10, Blood of Soul. Number 9, Red. Number 8, Blue. Number 7, Body. Number 6, Bowser. Number 5, Ganon from Ocarina. Number 4, Twilight Princess Ganondorf. Number 3, Giant Baby Bowser. Number 2, Xehanort's Heartless. That's right, it's Xemnas. Xemnas is 8 forms of awesome boss battles. Xemnas' forms include throwing clock-shaped nobodies into a core, shooting a dragon form with Riku's shooting platformy thingy. Easily the best one is one with a huge battlefield where you have to throw pieces of building at Xemnas' shield so you can get into a spaceship thingy. The final form of this battle is not as great as the one with the huge battlefield, but still a great final form. Xemnas' outfit and the scenery have changed to a checkerboard-like design, and you can even play as Riku in this form. Xemnas also has an awesome final attack. That finisher is sweet. I'm sorry I was too lazy to show them, but I was too lazy. But my point still stands. Xemnas is the great final boss ever. Well, that's my list. Please feel free to comment on what bosses you think deserve a spot on the list.